Hello, everyone. Welcome to Expert Matters. I'm Shruti, and today we are diving into the world of artificial intelligence. Finally, not just the buzzword, but the real systems shaping how we work, build, and create. Today, we have Vaibhav Nayak with us. He's a senior AI/ML engineer, and he's an NIT Rourkela alumni who's worked on everything from predictive AI models to large language systems. Vaibhav's journey from production engineering to cutting edge AI is very fascinating. And today we'll explore how he has built that bridge between curiosity, code, and innovation. Thank you so much, Vaibhav, for taking our time. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shruti.
Vaibhav, I have a lot of questions for you today, and a lot of the audience, the students which are watching this video, they are also very keen about the new emergence of AI these days. So before we jump on to the questions we have for you today, can you please give us a background about your journey so far?
Sure. Thanks a lot. Shruti. So basically, currently I'm working as a senior software engineer in AI/ML domain in Autodesk. And previously, I was working as a team lead in Accenture, again in computer vision domain, which is AI/ML domain. And I started my career from a startup called Flutura, which was based out of Bangalore. And from there, my whole journey began in the AI domain. So basically, my whole background is mechanical engineering, and I have done my master's in production engineering. And since I have this keen interest in coding side, so that was my breakthrough into a AI side of things, and that is how I became part of the AI team in Flutura and Accenture.
Amazing, amazing. You started as a production engineering, if I'm correct.
Correct.
Right? And now you're designing advanced AI systems. So I wanted to understand the transition that happened from engineering to, building system on your own.
Okay. So as part of my curriculum in NIT Rourkela, I was already involved with a software called MATLAB. In that system, I was already using it to build some simulations, do some process optimizations and data analysis part. So coding, I was already doing some part of the coding side of. I was already having hands-on. But back then, Python was gaining popularity, and I had few friends who were doing some automation using Python, and that actually interested me because Python is a language which is very easy to understand. The syntax is very easy to understand. So I started taking tutorials using YouTube, any free resources which are available online back then, and that is how I gained interest in Python. So in my free time, I used to I still remember I used to code and develop some basic Python to automations on my own. And during the placement season, I got an opportunity to work as an intern for a startup called Flutura. And after completing my internship, I was offered a PPO. So that is how I entered the world of AI, because that company was operating in the data science and AI domain only. So yeah, pretty much about my journey.
Amazing. We all use AI to some extent, especially GPT for, our everyday work. But you are building the real world AI solutions for all of us. So you've worked on some powerful AI solutions like drone inspection systems and, next tool recommendation models. Which project for you made AI feel real? Because, we all use AI at some extent, but what made you feel that it was creating measurable impact?
Okay. So one of the project which I was working as a team lead in Accenture was involving the analysis of power utility system, wherein the customers were utilizing drones to inspect the images and videos collected for in the electrical grid networks, and classifying them into various fault modes. So the use case was that before we came into picture, they were doing all that analysis of uh, thousands of images and videos manually, and then putting them or bucketing them into various fault modes. But when we came into picture, what we did is we automated its whole end-to-end solution. So once they collect the data from the drones, our systems used to take those images and videos, and using the computer vision tech, we used to mark the exact latitude and longitude of those exact electrical grid pole where the fault modes are happening and what type of fault modes are happening. So because of this whole application which we built, we were able to reduce the total analysis time by 30%, and which was a huge at that point of time for that company. And that also
Mhm.
it also reduced the maintenance engineers time from getting the final reports and going to the site location and doing some their job. So yeah, it was a very impactful solution which we did. And seeing the real life impact of the solution which we are building, it's very no as a developer, it's very satisfying. So yeah.
That's incredible. It's amazing, to see AI move from theory to building something which saves time, money, and resources all at once. So it's wonderful. A lot of young generations, young engineers, and people from non-technical field also want to step into AI now. But breaking down AI concepts is very difficult for them because there are a lot of terminologies and a lot of concepts, but it is very difficult for an outsider to understand. So terms like, land graph, mixture of experts, or PEFT can sound very intimidating to students. Could you, help us simplify any of these, maybe land graph or MOE, in a way a beginner could understand?
Sure, I'll try my best. So I'll go with mixture of experts. Reason being, it's very new term in the AI domain, especially on the architecture side of things. So considering mixture of experts as a team of doctors, let's take a very basic example. Uh, let's say there's a group of doctors, and when a patient comes into their clinic, like that, instead of that patient going to each doctor and telling the problem. Before going to doctor, we classify or we know what the disease is, what his problems are, and based on that, that patient is redirected to the particular doctor. And that is what this mixture of experts is. It's basically a group of experts trained on certain type of analysis purpose. And when a query comes into the LLM architecture, like the whole flow, it's classified, and only that particular expert is invoked. Instead of invoking a complete flow, only that particular you can call it as a expert is invoked, and because of which the whole trillions of parameters are not involved in particular process. Like uh, every LLMs are getting bigger in size by day. So
Mhm.
instead of and loading them into a memory, into a GPU system is very difficult. So because of this, the memory utilizations become very low, and we can at the same time we can get very high accuracies because of this particular architecture.
Correct. Beautifully explained. Now let's talk about a little bit about leadership in the projects because as a team lead yourself, you've managed both people and the complex AI pipelines all together and all at once, of course. What's the toughest part about leading in a field that's constantly evolving?
Okay. Uh, so basically, based on my experience, what I had as a team lead in Accenture and currently in this Autodesk, there's a misconception among the stakeholders and the customers that AI can do everything. So as a AI developer, to make them convinced that no, AI cannot do everything, there are certain constraints which AI has on their own. That is the biggest challenge you can anyone can face in the AI domain. Then since this AI field is rapidly progressing, new models are coming up, new architectures are coming up. So as a team working in AI domain, it's very there is a constant pressure to ship and maintain the scalable apps, because everyone wants a latest technology and models into picture, right? So and everything is different, like no two models can be same. So to ship continuously and maintain them and in a scalable manner is very difficult. That is another expectations mismatch between developers and stakeholders. And last thing, like to anyone who is leading a team, and the job is to understand the business goals, convert into experiments, and then using those experiments to get the meaningful insights. Experiments might fail, and when stakeholders are involved, and when they get to know that experiments are failing after weeks of efforts, it's very hard to convince that okay, yeah, we can fail, but yeah, we have to restart everything and from scratch, and we have to build everything. So yeah, that's a bit of a
Correct.
challenge. Yeah.
I understand. Managing humans behind the code is as important as managing the code itself. So I love the perspective. Almost come towards the end of our interview, and I have a last question for you, which is for students who have come from different backgrounds, CS or non-CS backgrounds, and they feel very overwhelmed by AI's complexity. What do you think, what would your advice be? Where do they start and how can they be consistent here?
Okay. Uh, so since this field is progressing is very rapid phase, it's very important to be curious, it's very important to be perseverant, and at the same time it's very important to be patient, because if you are curious enough, you will keep on learning new texts, new blogs, you will keep on experimenting with new ways of implementing an AI model. And to be perseverant and patient with this thing, to there's a learning curve to it. So it's very important to follow these three key pointers, and I think anyone can do. I believe in anyone can do everything. So it's very important. So to keep these things in mind.
That's such a practical advice because, focusing on curiosity and consistency over fancy tools really makes a difference in the longer run. This was an incredible session, Vaibhav. Thank you so much for sharing your journey insights. And I love the fact that you were so transparent about everything. And the clarity how AI is evolving is amazing. Thank you so much for, being here, taking our time in such short notice. And thank you so much for sharing for everybody.
Thank you, Shruti.